Hey everyone, what's up? Jordan Arell here. Gonna do something a little different today for y'all. Um, I was just about to do a meditation sort of reflection and go into my current Intactivist projects, my healing work, all the things around Intactivism and ending circumcision and healing trauma and regenerating the foreskin that are critical to me, really, really making a huge impact on this issue. But rather than just doing that myself, I thought, why not share that with you all? Because I think it's so critical that we all think on the deepest level. Not just taking sort of surface level actions where we are doing the best we can in the moment and just doing a little bit here, a little bit there. Those things are great, and you should always, I think, you should do whatever you can. But if we can take a step back from things and really look at the big picture, think really long term, and think at scale, meaning think at the largest possible scale, not just kind of like me and my little bubble. But if we really want to end circumcision once and for all and achieve healing both through regenerative medicine and through psychological work, and transform ourselves to transform this issue, then we have to you have to really go deep into your psyche, into yourself to find that level of answers. So I wanted to I may even make a series out of this. I've toyed with that idea before, but it's something that's so crucial and critical to me that I do it regularly. So why not all do it together? So, like all my videos, I suspect this will be terrible, and I know I have to do 30 or 40 or 50 or 100 of these for them to start being really good. But if I don't do them, then you know there's something about recording yourself. I'd recommend it to anyone. When you're recording yourself and you're forcing yourself to actually put yourself out there and have an audience, it really energizes you, and starting getting feedback and seeing the view count gradually go up, and knowing that you're making a real impact and getting comments, and it all just pulls you more and more into it and really energizes you. So I would recommend making that's a big reason I do this, even though it's sometimes especially when you're starting out with something new or something experimental, sometimes it's really shitty. It always is really shitty when you first start out. So I can't stress that enough, that even just getting back into the swing now after not making videos for a while, my videos are kind of shitty. Like they're not that good. But just keep on going, and don't obsess over it. Just do what you do every day, and taking little actions, but taking little actions toward your bigger vision. So you have to start with that bigger vision, and so that's what I want to kind of guide on today. I think I'm just going to do my meditation here and take you with me on the journey. So it's a meditation, it's a contemplation, it's thinking on a deep practical level as well as a philosophical level. And the linchpin, the key thing that you want to do when you're really developing like big level shit is to ask yourself really good questions. It's something that takes practice to do well, but even just asking yourself any questions and asking yourself the best question you can think of can be shockingly powerful, and it only gets better over time. So I ask myself, and I would recommend you ask yourself right now, what is it that you most need to focus on? What is the most powerful thing that you could possibly focus on right now in this moment to take your intactivism to the next level. What is the most important thing? And then just let your mind sort of drift back and let the answers come. What is the most important thing you could do to help save children from genital cutting now and into the future on the biggest scale possible? And listen. Listen to yourself. Listen to the empty space. This is one of the most important things, besides asking good questions, is then listening for an answer. And it takes really being able to be totally quiet. I know I'm talking a lot right now, and you got to find that balance between letting yourself talk and then, or letting, not talk necessarily, but letting ideas come up and then letting them go, and then going deeper and deeper into the silence, into an open, totally new perspective. Let yourself see deeper and deeper. What is the biggest thing you could be doing right now to end circumcision once and for all? For example, I am seeing I could do healing work. That's coming through. For you, it might be that, it might be something else. But then you can ask yourself, what is it about that that you can focus on that would take you deeper into the action that you need to take? Let me phrase that better. What is the most actionable thing you could do on that? What is the most powerful action you could take? And this will happen. You ask yourself a question and it's not quite the right question. And you just search around, you try different things out, and you be a little bit still, feel into it. The question, I think, is whatever has been coming up for you, whatever is the most important thing you could do for Intactivism. Now, what is the most important action you could take towards that? Or another question, if that doesn't feel quite right, what's the funnest action? What's the most exciting action? What's the most energizing action? And again, just let yourself be totally still. You could sit here for an hour and just like listen to the space. Just listen to the empty, still, quiet, silent space. And that's where I've had a lot of my best ideas. Most of my best ideas, I think, are really from long periods of meditation, allowing myself to go really deeply into the questions. So again, what is the most powerful action, or what is the most exciting, energizing action? Because sometimes there's a really powerful action you could take, but it's really boring or really, really unpleasant. But maybe there's something you could do that's really fun. That's really just like, oh, that sounds fun. Like, there's things I could be doing that are better than this video. I know that, in a way. But I also know that making this video is just fun. I like making videos, and I like this topic in particular. Just as energizing. I love talking about like really deep stuff. And so this is the most powerful, or not most powerful, but the most energizing thing I can be doing. And that's where this came from. What's the most powerful thing? What's the most energizing thing you could be doing right now to move yourself toward that most powerful thing in intactivism? And you can just allow yourself to let go and open. Just be totally open. If your mind wanders off to something else, then just bring it back. Ask the question again. What's the most powerful thing I could be doing? What's the most energizing thing I could be doing to move myself toward ending circumcision? So you can listen. As you're listening, you may have things again coming up, and you can listen to those and let the thoughts go, or let them let them continue, or you can let go of the thoughts and just listen more deeply. And it's not just listening as in like hearing what's going on inside you, or hearing the space, or hearing the silence. It's also feeling. So I just feel my body, and I might notice some tension. I usually notice tension when I do this. We carry around a lot of tension, and it keeps us focused and keeps us doing what we're doing, but it really prevents creativity. So when you feel into your body, you can just relax it. You notice any tension or any holding, you just relax and just feel your body. Feel into what wants to come through you right now. And it might just be resting. Oftentimes it is for me just like, okay, I just need to be quiet. I just need to shut up and meditate. Or I just need to shut up and take a nap. And a lot of times that's the best thing I can be doing. So you can just relax. If nothing's coming, you can just allow yourself to rest. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Knowing that just being silent and listening to yourself, feeling yourself, feeling into your heart, into your mind, into yourself, feeling into all of that is just, it reawakens you, it centers you, it makes you more clear, it makes you more creative. Just relaxing into that space that you are, or that is in you. And so for me, healing is so important, as I just mentioned. And I'm feeling, as I do that, I feel an answer coming through. Partly what I need to do is just be more present with my pain. So that's an answer that's coming through for me right now by feeling into my body. It's like, oh, there's pain here. I feel so driven to end circumcision. It's such a horrible thing. There's so much work to do. There's so much struggle left. And it's like, I just need to be with that stress, that anxiety, because it's draining me. It's making it difficult to work, and that's partly why I needed to do this, I think, for myself. And I can feel that as I feel into my body. I feel that stress and that anxiety. And it's like, oh, I just need to relax for a minute and feel this. So that's an answer that came from me, from just feeling into my body. But again, it'll always be different, or usually will be different. There's a lot of different things that will come through as you feel into yourself. Just relax, listen, feel. And you can ask yourself another question. What are the most important values that I need to learn to embody, that I want to learn to embody more of in order to be a more effective intactivist, in order to be stronger, in order to be more clear or more powerful or more effective. What qualities do I need to embody? What values are, or what principles, what core things do I need to learn, do I need to become in order to be the best possible intactivist I can be? And just listen to yourself. Listen to the answer to that question. And what would it look like if you were embodying that? As you're starting to get images, you can really make those images more vivid. If I was really embodying my best intactivist self with these principles, or with this principle or value or personality trait, what would I look like? Who would I be if I had that? What kind of actions would I take? What would that image look like? And just let it come to you. Let yourself see that, feel that. And it's okay if sometimes you don't have an answer. Again, it's like a lot of times I'm just sitting here just letting shit come through, letting whatever comes through come through. It can take some time for this to be really effective. And repetition. To let yourself get in touch with this energy, or these answers. So just allowing yourself to see those images, to see and ask again, just let it come through. What do you need to become? Or what else do you need to become? What other personality traits, what other values could you embody that would make you the best possible intactivist you can be to really end circumcision effectively? Who do you have to become? You can see specific examples of yourself taking actions. And sometimes you'll have confusion come up, or um, other negative feelings, just anxiety or annoyance or impatience. And instead of resisting or thinking any of those shouldn't be there, just let it all come. Let anything come through you. There's nothing that's not acceptable to come through. If that's trauma or anger or depression or whatever, all of those things, it's actually a really good sign if those come through at a time like this, because that's how you heal them. You allow them to be there and you feel them. If they're overwhelming, you sometimes need the help of a therapist to really be able to be with your feelings in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming. But if you can, just be with whatever comes up. And the space of your own consciousness, just holding all the thoughts, all the emotions, all the things that come up, is one of the most powerful ways that you can heal yourself and gain greater insight. It's just by seeing what comes through you. So another question you can ask: what else do I need to know? What else do I need to learn more about? What else do I need to see more clearly? What knowledge, if you gained, would make you much more effective? For me, that knowledge, I think, is understanding what really works. I personally tend to be someone who theorizes too much. Sometimes people sit back too much and kind of do a lot of this consciousness level stuff, and that's one of my best traits. But I know I need more feedback, so if you're watching this right now and you have feedback for me, please give me feedback. I need that feedback. But maybe for you, it could be being too theoretical, like me, and not getting the real world feedback by interacting with people. Or it could be you're interacting with people all the time and you're just doing that, and you're never taking a step back and really meditating and getting clarity and looking from the big picture, looking from a sort of a high level theoretical, seeing the whole structure, the system. Maybe you're so caught up in the minutia and interacting with people or doing projects that you don't really see the big high level. Clouds and dirt, as Gary Vaynerchuk says. So maybe you're one way or the other, but you can notice that. If you're too theoretical, or if you're too practical, too local, how could you balance that out? Think about that for a minute, or ask yourself that question and let the thoughts come through you. There's never really any action you have to take here. You can just let it come through and relax and listen, and sometimes a thought will come and you'll want to think more about it, or write it down, or talk to someone else about it. Or another thing you can do is just talk out loud. That's what I'm doing with all of this. I do this to myself even when I'm not making videos. I'll just talk to myself out loud, and it can really help me clarify my thoughts, sometimes more than just thinking about it in my head. So if you want, at any moment during this video, and you have an idea that, like, oh, that's a good idea, I want to think about that more, and then I start talking over you and distracting you, feel free, please pause this. That's the one problem with videos. When you're reading something and you realize something, you can set it down and then think about it and sit there and kind of just think and understand it, or you can go over and reread it a few times till you really get what they're saying. With these videos, if you don't catch it, or if you have a realization, then I just kind of keep talking and you get distracted. You can't do that, but please do pause this video if you have something that's more important. What's important in this video is to listen to yourself and to get those ideas and write them down, or journal, or talk to yourself, or talk to someone else, and get clarity. It's not about hearing what I have to say, it's about actually doing the exercise. So if there's some way, is there some way that you can be more practical and take more action if that's something you don't do enough of? Or is there some way that you could see things from a bigger perspective? Maybe read books on activism. Maybe kind of try to analyze it in your mind and think, what are the key components? There's a medical industry, there's the psychological aspect of it, there's the legal aspect of it. Can you look at these different components and see how they fit together? And whichever, if you need to do more theory or more practice, just let yourself sink into that. What do you need to do to understand the theory better, or to be more practical in your actions? Or both? Again, just listening to yourself really for the answer. Another thing, if there's a really good question that I ask and you want to sit with that question for longer, again, by all means, pause and just keep listening. Just listen to yourself. And so again, the question we're on right now is, what's the most practical thing you could do? Or the best way you could be more practical? Or what's the best way you could get an understanding of the big picture of everything around circumcision and how to change it? What's the best way that you could do either of those? The most important thing you could be doing. Just allow yourself to sink into yourself and start seeing images, or start feeling what that answer could be. Letting whatever comes up come up. Just feeling it, listening. Relaxing, letting it flow through you. If you're a religious person, you can pray. You can pray and say, God, please show me the answer. That's another way to do this. And then just open and allow God to give you the answer. Just being totally open and receptive. All right. I'm feeling my energy waning a little bit. It's 1 in the morning here, which is why I'm drinking this triple shot Monster Java to keep me awake. 300 milligrams of caffeine I think is hopefully will do the trick. So I can make 10 more of these videos or so. We'll see what happens here. But half an hour is a good length of a video, I think. So, yeah, let me know what you think of this. I know this is very new, and I know it was not very good, in my opinion. I just didn't feel in flow. You can feel how good a video is, kind of, and I'm not a fan of this one. But I think I'm gonna make a rule for myself that I always post videos. I've been doing that, and that I don't redo videos unless it's like really bad and it's important, and I have a good reason to redo it. But like, it's so demotivating to make like 10 copies of a video because it feels good in the moment. Like, it's like, okay, this is getting better and better and better. But then the next day it's like, oh my god, starting from ground zero again. It's so demoralizing because you can only make one video a day when you do that, and it takes like 3 hours. So I'm just doing this the way that feels good, which is to make one video a day and to post every one. So let me know what you think of this. I will do more, and that's another way you can get good rather than doing 80 of the same video. Just do 80 different videos and post them all. Certainly lightens the load. So, for better or worse, let me know what you think of this video, and I'll talk to y'all later.